Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are doing well at your home, and I am Divya and I welcome you all back with our today's session. All right. So today we are going to start with our new topic. Okay, and the name of our topic is pronouns. So here, you must have studied about this chapter also in your previous class, right? Again, we'll read here and we'll recap here and we'll understand about pronouns. Okay. So first of all, I'll explain you with one example. Okay, so what is pronouns? All right. So here I have written three lines about the cow. Okay, and I'll explain you how we have to use pronouns. Okay, what is pronouns actually? So here, the cow is a domestic animal which is considered useful to mankind. The cow is found in various colors, shapes, and sizes around the world. The cow eat grass, husk, grain, and vegetables. So, did you notice something that in three of the sentence, there are two words which is repeated again and again. Can you find out from these three lines, students? So yes, here is the answer. I have repeated the word the cow, and the cow in the beginning of the all these sentences. Okay, and so why I have repeated the cow, and the cow. Okay, so here I'll explain you. So what we have to do whenever you if you want to write any paragraph or write any essay, okay, write any about any topic, okay, so we don't every time we don't use that particular word again and again, but in spite of that word, if there is any animal or if there is any place or thing, then we use it. So in the same way, what we have to do, we cannot write the cow, or we cannot write like the buffalo or any other word again and again. We cannot use it because it doesn't make any sense, right? It is not in a correct way. It is not in a correct manner. So we have to use it for a particular things or subjects. Okay, and if it's boy or girl, if it's boy then we will use he, if it's girls then we will use she. So that is called pronouns. Okay, we don't we use any word in spite of noun in the place of noun, that is called pronoun. So in spite of the cow, okay, we have to use it in the place of the cow. Okay, so in both this place it will come. All right students, so in spite of the cow, we'll read it as it is found in various colors, shapes, and size around the world. Okay, it eats grass, husk, grains, and vegetables. So this is about one para. This is about one example which I have shown you. Okay, about pronouns. Now we'll read in this chapter. Okay, what is given over here? So here we'll read the definition. A pronouns is a word that is used instead of noun. Alright, so what is a pronoun? A pronoun is nothing but it is a one kind of, it's just a one word, okay, which we use in spite of noun, okay, and or you can say instead of noun, okay. Second point, pronouns that are most commonly used for people are called personal pronouns. So the pronouns which we used mostly for the people, okay, or you can say the commonly which we use for the people, okay, that is called the personal pronouns. All right, so this is both the sentences are very important, so you have to underline both the sentences in your workbook. Okay, underline it in your workbook. Okay, now we will read this uh, table is given. I'll explain that table, but before that I'll explain you the other point which is given over here. So third point, the personal pronouns mine, are, your, his, her, its, and their when used before nouns are known as possessive adjectives or determiners. So here there are many personal pronouns, right? Like my, are, your, his, her, its, and their. So whenever we are using these nouns before nouns, so these are known as, means this all personal pronouns are known as possessive adjectives or determiners. Okay, now we'll read two types of pronouns in this chapter. Okay, one is reflexive pronouns and second one is demonstrative pronouns. Okay, so I'll explain these pronouns to you and then we will see this table. Okay, so here first one, reflexive pronouns refers back to the subject in the sentence. So what is reflexive pronoun? Reflexive pronouns are like it refers back. Okay, reflexive in the sense the reflexive words comes from the reflex. Okay, that means to reflex. Reflexive means to refer back. So reflexive pronouns tells us about the subject only in that sentence. Okay. For example, like example which is given over here: myself, ourselves, yourself, yourselves, himself, herself, themselves, itself. Okay, these are the examples of reflexive pronouns. Alright, students. Now we will see the two sentences which they have given over here. So here see, the lady asked herself why she was so unhappy. So the lady is asked herself. Okay, so here the lady is the subject. Okay, and she asked herself. So here what is happening, the lady is like asked herself, means this is called reflexive pronouns because it is referring back to the subject. Okay, our subject is the lady over here, right? She is asking to herself that why she was unhappy. So both these are connected to each other, right? The lady is asking to herself. The lady is subject and herself is the reflexive pronoun. All right. Then in the same way we have the dog scratched itself continuously. So the dog is the like subject in the sentence, and itself, okay, is the reflexive pronouns over here. Okay. So here the dog is the subject and it is connected to itself. Okay, the dog scratched itself continuously. So this is the reflexive pronoun. Okay, itself. In the same way, the reflexive pronouns usually comes after the verb and has to agree with the subject in number and gender. Now, reflexive pronouns always comes after the verb. Okay, so as we saw in both the sentences, asked and scratched, both are the verb. Okay, and we have used reflexive pronouns after the verb only, right? Herself and itself both are the reflexive pronouns, and that we have used after the verb. Or verb is asked and scratched. Okay, all right. And we have to make sure that whatever we are using reflexive pronouns, that has to be like match, or that has to be agree with the subject in that sentence. Okay, in the number also and in the gender also. Okay, so if we are talking about any girl or if we are talking about any boy, okay, and in the number also, means if we are talking about one person or two person, it might be in singular or the in the plural form. All right, students. So this is about our second point. Okay, then we'll see the third point, which is about demonstrative pronouns. Okay, so demonstrative pronouns are used to point out the noun to which they refer. So what is demonstrative pronouns? It is the pronouns like which we point out. Okay, we like point out to the noun which we are talking about or which they are referring about. Like for example, this, that, these, those. Okay, these are the examples of demonstrative pronouns. Now we'll see the some example which is given over here. Number fourth point, demonstrative pronouns when used before nouns are known as determiners. So whenever you are using any demonstrative pronouns before any nouns, okay, नाउन के पहले जब हम इसको यूज करते हैं, दे आर नोन एज द डिटरमाइनर्स. ऑलराइट, सो दिस इज आवर हाउस. ओके, सो व्हाट इज दिस? This is our house. So this is pronoun, right? This is our house is the pronouns, but this house is ours is a determiner. So house is the noun, right? So we have used determiner, we have used this before the house, means before the noun. So this is called the determiner. And if we are using this is our house, then it is that sentence is said to be the pronoun. All right, then these are places we must avoid is a pronoun. Okay, and we must avoid these places. So places is a noun. So what we are doing over here, we are using this. Okay, we are using places before the noun. Okay, so sorry, before the demonstrative pronoun. All right, so here this is said to be the determiners. All right, students. So we must avoid these places. Okay, so this is the demonstrative pronouns, and places is used the places is used before after the demonstrative pronoun. So this is said to be the determiner. All right, students. So here we have seen two types of now pronouns. reflexive and the demonstrative pronouns. Now we'll read this table. Okay, how we do we use the pronouns for the first person, second person, and third person. Okay, so here is a table given. Okay, so what is first person? First person means for the person who is speaking. Okay, so I'll explain that. So first person means the person who is speaking is said to be the first person. Okay, who is second person? Second person means for the person spoken to, the sentence or the thing which you are speaking for the about the another person, that is said to be the second person, or you can say the listener is said to be the second person. All right. And third person for the person or person spoken about. So third person means the that is the that are the persons to about whom we are speaking. Okay, so now we will use this, now we will understand this table. Okay, about the first person, second person, and third person. All right. So whenever we are talking about first person, okay, the person who is speaking, so for subject it will be I, for object it will be me. Okay, for determiner it will be my. For possessive, if it's like possessing to someone, okay, if it's possessing to person who is speaking, then we will use mine. And for reflexive pronouns we will use myself. Then in the same way, if it's plural, okay, more than one, then we subject we will use we, in object we will use us, in determiner we will use our, and in possessive uh, we will use ours, and in reflexive pronouns we will use ourselves. All right. Now for the second person. Okay, so in second person, subject and object remains same for whether it is singular or plural. Okay, it remains same, you. And in the same way, the determiner and possessive also remains same whether it is a single person or it's more than one. Okay, it remains same, your. And for reflexive pronoun, yourself for the single person, and for many more than like one, if it's more in, if it's in a plural form, okay, then we will use yourselves. All right. Now we'll see the third person. Okay, for third person, subject remains he if it's boy, object remains him, determiner remains says his, and the possessive also determiner remains the his for the boy. Okay, and for if for the reflexive pronouns we will use boy then himself. Then if it's girl, then we will use subject she, object remains her, determiner remains her, possessive remains hers. Okay, and reflexive pronouns we will use herself. Then if it's we are talking about the third person, okay, if it's more than like one or two, if it's in group of people, then we will use subject they, for object we will use them, for determinants we will use their, and for possessive we will use theirs. Okay, and for reflexive pronouns we will use themselves. Suppose if it's any things given, right, so we will use it, or if any place is given, then we will use it for subject, determinants we will use its, and reflexive for we will use the itself. All right. So like here one note is given that the pronouns in the last line do not stand for people, they too are known as personal pronouns. Okay, so they are telling about this one, it's and itself. Okay, they does not stand for any people, they does not stand for any person. Okay, but still we consider these pronouns as the personal pronouns, because we sometimes use those these pronouns for the like thing. Okay, for any animals. Okay, so we still consider those as a personal pronouns. Okay, so this you have to remember. All right. So this is about our today's chapter, pronouns. Okay, we have seen that when do we use pronouns. Okay, and how do we use the pronouns. All right. So in the same way, one exercise is given over here. Okay, on your next page. Okay, so you have to complete, you have to read this. Please read this all the sentences first. Okay, and understand it. Okay, and then write the answers over there. You have to write this exercise in your workbook and you have to show me. Okay, so here the brackets are also given. Okay, students, so try to first understand this exercise. Okay, what they are saying, and try to like understand that what is about pronouns. Okay, and then like put the correct answer over there. So this is your like today's homework. You have to complete this exercise and you have to show me, students. So I hope you understand this chapter very well about pronouns. Okay, so what are the pronouns? Okay, and when, how do we use the pronouns? All right, students, so as of now we are doing this much in this video, and we'll see in the next video about the next chapters. So please students, stay home, stay safe and have a nice day. Please complete the work on time and show it to me. Okay, thank you.